Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of the Fishing Teacher, and thanks a lot for checking out today's video. And today we're going to be talking about finesse crankbaits, really small crankbaits, and why they're good fish catchers and the situations and conditions you need to fish them in, and when they produce the best. And even though they're little, they still can catch some really big fish. So we're going to go over all that in detail. And also, guys, if you're interested in getting any of these little crankbaits I'm talking about, you can get them at Baitworks in Springfield online. It's a good way to, I'll include the Baitworks link in the description. And if you use that link to order, it's a good way to help the channel out here. It's much appreciated. Okay, guys, small crankbaits. I consider a small crankbait anything to be like, say, under, 2.5 inches. This is the Megabass Z crank. It's about probably about 1.5 inches long. This is like typical of a small crankbait. And there's a lot of different ones out there. I mean, pretty much every company out there makes some type of a downsized crankbaits. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about when a small crankbait works good. Now, not just for bass, it works good for everything. I mean, it works good for about any type of game fish, but there's situations that it's going to pay off better than others. First of all, one of the things I found about it is a lot of it has to do with the water level and the water clarity in the body of water you're fishing. For the most part, the lake level of where you're fishing at needs to be normal level or low. It's like these little crankbaits, I think they work best when the lakes are sort of at a lower level. Just something about it. So it's part of the biology of the lake. I can't really explain it, but they work better in those conditions. The time of year that they work, well, first of all, the water clarity. Another thing about these little crankbaits, guys, they work a little bit better in off-colored water. So if you got water visibility of like under 2.5 feet, that is ideally. Most situations I like between, say, 1 foot to 2.5 foot of visibility is when they work good. And they're going to work pretty much all year long, with the exception of the winter time when the water temperature starts to get like down into the low to mid 40s. They're not quite as productive. I think a lot of that is because when the water gets that cool, a lot of the fish go deeper and you simply can't reach them with these little baits. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the bait construction. There's two different styles here that you want to check out. And the first one is the deeper lip. Now this is the Megabass Z2. It's a deeper one right here. The Z2's got a little bit deeper lip, and this is the Megabass Z1. Now you can see the variations in the lip sizes here. So bigger lip on a crankbait is going to make it run deeper for the most part. So on this Z2 or any other bait like it, once you have a little bit bigger lip, depending upon the pound test line you're going to use, this bait's going to run probably anywhere between, say, 4 to 5 foot deep. Most of the time I'm going to be fishing on an 8 to 10 pound test line. And with the square lip or the shorter lip, this bait's only going to run down probably 3 feet. So how you make that determination is how deep you think the fish are. Let's say, for example, if you're fishing a rocky bank and the water visibility is 12 inches in visibility, fairly stained water, that's going to be a good indicator where the fish are going to be a little shallower, and you might want to use a shallow lip. But say, for example, if the water visibility is closer to 2 foot and you still fishing that same rocky bank, those fish may be a little bit deeper, so you want to use the little bit deeper lip to get it down there. So that's a big key with that. The next consideration for a finesse crankbait is there's two type of cover that you want to fish on it. The number one is, like we said, is rocky banks and riprap. Any body of water, guys, has riprap, and riprap is probably my favorite area to fish a finesse crankbait. I probably catch more fish on a finesse crankbait off of riprap than about anywhere, but rocky banks are hard to beat too. And another thing that's real good is anytime you have a lay down tree in the water and you've got some fairly stained water, say you have water visibility between 12 to 15 inches and you have a lay down tree, that's when I like to take these little crankbaits and run them just on the outside part of the limbs, and a lot of times those fish will come out and get it with that. Now, I prefer to throw these on a spinning outfit. You can throw them on a bait caster, but most of the time a finesse crankbait, they're like 1/4 ounce in weight. So I usually use it on a spinning outfit, 8 to 10 pound test line. There are a couple different advantages with that, is you can cast them further, and you can cast them further if the wind's blowing. And also you can use a little bit lighter line if you want to get them down a little bit deeper. And most of the time with them, I'm using some type of a medium to medium fast retrieve based upon the water temperature. If the water temperature is like under 65 degrees, I'm usually using like a medium stop and go retrieve. Like I'll throw it out there, I'll just reel it like this and maybe stop it occasionally, then start it again, or maybe I'll use a half turn like that and stop it. With any type of crankbait, guys, you never want to just constantly reel it like that. You want to stop and go, keep it, where the action's a little bit more erratic with it. And then, like I said, a lot of that just depends on the water temperature and water clarity. Colors also, if the water visibility is more stained, like towards that foot of visibility, I'll use the brighter colors, and then maybe some type of a more translucent or shad pattern, a little bit more subtle finish if the water's a little bit cleaner. Works in all different weather conditions. It doesn't matter if it's sunny, cloudy, whatever like that. Most of the time I like a little breeze. The breeze is in relationship to how clear the water is. If you are on the clear side, you're fishing, say the water visibility is over 2.5 foot, I like some significant wind. But if it's dirty water, the wind is not quite important, but maybe just a little ripple on the water. So anyway, guys, give it a try. Get you some Finesse crankbaits. Like I said, I'll put the Baitworks link in the description for this Mega Bass Z line. There's also a lot of other, Finesse crankbaits there they have. You can check them out, but just a really good way to catch them. And it'll catch big ones, guys. I almost won the Bassmaster Top 100 at the Potomac River on a Finesse crankbait. I had the biggest limit of the tournament, 20 pounds, and I caught a 7-pounder, which is a giant on the Potomac River, all on Finesse crankbait. So give them a try. They'll catch a lot of fish for you. I'll talk later.